Lesson 1-4, we're going to talk about properties of numbers. And I do have these up in my room on the wall where the door is. So if you need to refer to them, you can. But there's 4 different kind of properties that we want to talk about. You might have already talked about them a little bit, but if not, we're going to cover them. The first one is the commutative property, which means order. Meaning the order doesn't matter. You kind of just, you add them, you subtract them, or you add them, you multiply them. It doesn't matter the order the numbers are in. You're still going to end up with the same answer. So, for example, if I had like 3 plus 2, that's going to be the same as 2 plus 3. They both equal 5. It didn't matter that if I took 3 plus 2 or 2 plus 3, I'm going to get the same answer. So switching them, that only works for addition and multiplication. So with the multiplication, I could take something like 5 times 8, and that's going to equal 8 times 5. So it doesn't matter the order, I still get 40 when I multiply 5 times 8, and if I took 8 times 5, I'm still going to get 40. So the order didn't matter. So again, commutative property is order. It doesn't matter, you can flip-flop them and you're still going to get the same answer. Now, the associative property I think of as grouping. It's a group of people that are together, or a group of numbers, and then the group changes to another group of numbers. But you'll still get the same answer with addition and multiplication. This does not work with subtraction or division, only addition and multiplication. So for example, I might have something like parenthesis 2 plus 3 plus 4, and then set that equal to, let's make this a little bit smaller because I write big. Let's try this again here. So let's say I have 2 plus 3, and that's in parentheses, plus 4. Well, what I can do is I can change the grouping. So 2 and 3 were grouped together. Now let's group the 3 and the 4 since they're beside each other and see what we get. Well, 2 plus 3 is 5, so 5 plus 4 is 9. Well, let's see over on the other side. Bring down the 2 because it's by itself. Add the 3 plus the 4 because they're in the grouping symbol. I get 7, and 2 plus 7 is 9. So again, you get the same answer. So grouping them doesn't change the value. It's one group switches to another group. And that works again for multiplication. I might have, I'm going to keep it small, so I'll use the same numbers here. 2 parenthesis times 3 parenthesis times 4 equals 2 times parenthesis 3 times 4. So if I have that, let's see, got to do parentheses first inside. So 2 times 3 is 6 times 4. And then over on the other side, I leave the 2 alone, and I multiply 3 times 4, and I get 12. So I have 2 times 12. 24 equals 24. So again, they are the same. So you got to look for those parentheses. You got to see if they move or not. Now, sometimes they will trick. Sometimes you'll have parentheses involved, but it's the commutative property that actually is taking place. So you really got to look at the numbers. Look, if you go back to the commutative property, the 3 and the 2 here switched with there. It's 2, 3. Notice in the associative property, the numbers went 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. What changed was where the parentheses were placed. You really have to pay close attention to that. The additive identity, easy, add, identity. It's like taking a picture, looking in a mirror. The additive identity says, what number can I add to any other number and not change its value? So let's say I have the number 6. What number can I add to 6? Then I'm still going to get 6 out. It doesn't change the value. It's like getting that identity back. 6 is 6. They're the same number. And that is 0. So the additive identity is 0. It's when we add 0 to a number and it doesn't change the value. That is the additive identity. Well, guess what? The multiplicative is multiplication. What number can I multiply to any other number? So let's say I have 8. What can I do to 8? What can I multiply it by? What other number that when I multiply it is going to give me 8 back? It doesn't change its identity. It doesn't change its value. 8 is still 8, and that is going to be 1. 8 times 1, 9 times 1, 10 times 1. You always get that number back. Be careful. Adding is 0, multiplying is 1, that identity. All right, let's practice. Name that property. So D plus 0 equals D. So D plus 0, we are adding a 0. That is called the additive identity. So additive, and then you can abbreviate ident, that's fine. All right, so I have parentheses in this one. So 14 plus 9 plus 10, 14 plus 9 plus 10. So the numbers didn't change. Parentheses did because here 9 and 10 were grouped together, but now the 14 and the 9 are grouped together. So this is the associative property. Okay? 8 times 1 equals 8. I used that one in my example, didn't I? Coincidence. All right, so 8 times 1 equals 8. This is the multiplicative identity. And, you know, I could even abbreviate this a little bit more just for purposes of tests, quizzes, whatever. You could put an addition and then write the word identity or abbreviate identity. That's fine. The same thing with this one. You could put a multiplication symbol in parentheses and write the word ident, just so I know that you know the difference. And then the last one, 5 times 7 times 2, 7 times 2 times 5. We'll notice the things got switched around here. So the order of the numbers changed. They're not in the same order. So this is the commutative property. Okay? All right, let's practice some more. Which property supports the fact that 12 times 1 equals 12? And see how I have the associative, and there's like a multiplication and an addition. So we can abbreviate, that's fine. So 12 times 1 equals 12. That is an identity. Which identity is it? And you should say C. It is the multiplicative identity. Which property supports the fact that 11 plus A plus C equals A plus C plus 11? Well, there's no parentheses. It's not identity. It is a commutative property, but now is it multiplication or is it addition? And it is an addition commutative property because the numbers changed order. All right, now we're going to look at simplifying algebraic expressions. Now, we get into this, and I'm going to go through this quite honestly quick because there's a lot of rules here. The reason we are able to do these problems in a quick, orderly manner is because of these properties right here. We don't show them. I mean, we technically should be showing every single step that we do. For example, what technically would happen in this problem is I really should switch the E and the 3 because I can't add the E and the 3 together because I don't know what E is. So technically I can't do that. And then use the associative property. So first I commuted the numbers. I flipped the E and the 3 and then I associated them differently. So now I can say E plus 10. And that's all we would have to do. But these properties, the commutative property and the associative property, allows us to do that. A lot of students can look at this and say, oh, well, I can just add these numbers. And then I know, but technically, mathematically speaking, if this was a PSSA question and they asked you to solve this, you couldn't just say 10E or 10 plus E or E plus 10. You would have to go through specifically and say, I did this with this property, this with this property. So this was the commutative property of addition. Don't forget, you need to tell me what specific property it was. And then this was the associative property of addition. All right, B. So here again, I can't multiply 5 and x because I don't know what 5 and x are. So what I could do is I could switch places with the 5 and the x. So that's the commutative property of multiplication. And then I can change the grouping, and that is the associative property of multiplication. And now I have 40 times x. And we would typically write it as 40x. We wouldn't put a time symbol in between them. All right, and the next one. This one I actually can go ahead and do. I can just say 9 plus q. That's actually a q because of the identity, the addition identity, additive identity, because that's going to give me that and I'm done. Here, we didn't talk about it, but we should know that if we multiply anything times 0, we get 0. So this is the 0 property. And then multiplication, so it's the 0 property. And then we get 0 as our final answer. And that is it.